All right, we're through week 11, and that means we're off to week 12 in the CFL. Welcome back to Placed on the 55 with Jon and Jess. Jess, last week, our records kind of stayed the same. 23 and 21 for myself, 21-23 for you after going 2-2 for the weekend.
Pretty good week, well, close week. Starting off that week, we had Ottawa just edging Calgary 31-29. Now, the spread was 2.5 points on that game, and my buddy Ryan thought that I had won, but it was Calgary that was actually favored by 2.5. So in reality, the Stamps were actually on the betting line, dropped that one by 4.5. How'd you do in that one?
Ottawa-Calgary game, I came out ahead. Ottawa won outright. I just needed them to lose by a little bit.
Montreal, Saskatchewan edged up the Riders at home by a field goal and just makes the Owls look so much more legit. They're the only team that's walked into Saskatchewan and beat the Riders so far. So, yeah, it looks like the Owls are the class of the league.
Yeah, they look sweet, the Owls do. Man, that sneaky half a point, right? Like, they won by 3, and I think I lost out on that bet by half a point. And
the third game of the week, we saw the impressive Alex go into Hamilton and just destroy the Tabbies, 47-22. McLeod Bethel Thompson, behind center. You know, he played decent, but the Alex looked absolutely amazing and scored an unbelievable 47 points. The Alex almost covered the over-under just almost by themselves.
Big injury at the start of that game.
Yeah, and you got to figure that knocked the heck out of the Tiger Cats. I mean, it was like a 45-minute delay. The teams went off the field. Hard to get back up for a game after that, especially when it's your teammate that goes down.
Yeah, Hamilton started with their backup quarterback and then switched over to Bo Levi again.
Now, what was supposed to be the best game of the league, or best game of the week last week, I almost went to this game. I almost took my son down to the game. At the last minute, we decided not to go. And holy crap, am I glad we decided not to go. The Bombers almost pitched another shutout. And they were up 20-0 after 45 minutes of play. And that's just unexcusable. They got over 30,000 people again. And you hate to let down a big crowd like that. That sucks, the Lions. The Bombers absolutely destroyed them. We're worried about BC's defense earlier this year. It hasn't been the defense that's let him down. It's been their offense. I mean, Rourke looked good to start the game. He had a couple of big drops from his receivers, but he certainly didn't look very good on the second half. I think it's just chalked that up to he hasn't only played with these guys 2 or 3 times. I'm hoping their timing gets better.
There was some excitement heading into that game because Rourke was announced that he was coming back. He looked really sharp on the first couple passes. His arm is strong. His mechanics, he barely moves and the ball just comes flying out. Unfortunately, it came flying out into the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' hands too often.
Well, yeah.
And you're right, the offense is struggling, but that's because the defense is out there pretty much the entire game and they're just gassed.
Heading into week 12, is that right?
Yeah, heading into week 12, we got 4 games on the slate. The only team getting a bye this week is Calgary.
Yeah, it's too bad BC's not getting a bye. They could have used it, but Calgary probably could use it as well. All right, just before we get into this week's spreads are courtesy of Mavericks Ranch, Casino, and RV Park, located in southern Arizona. Come wrangle some steer or brand a cow, place a bet on the CFL, and pass out in your trailer after a wild, hot day in the desert sun. Yeah, my dad's not welcomed out at Mavericks no more, eh?
Why is that?
The old man kept inviting Mrs. Maverick over to his trailer, so he's not welcome there no more. But we thank Maverick for his business this week. Heading into week 12, I think Chad Kelly's probably going to start that game. At the moment, we have the Argos favored by just 2 points over the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Assuming that Kelly is playing and assuming he's got his timing down, I really like the Argos to, at least clear that 2 points at home. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a couple big assumptions. We saw Rourke come in last week. His timing was not down. I'm going to go with Saskatchewan. I like the 2 points.
The difference between York and Kelly, which actually should have worked in New York's favor, York was down in the NFL practicing on NFL teams, taking NFL rep, whereas Kelly hasn't been able to practice with anybody.
Are you going to spend the rest of the season calling him York with a Y and not Rourke with an R?
No, it's what I'm trying to say with an R. Yeah.
Okay, well, that takes us in game 2. Hamilton's getting 10. And the Bombers, they seem to have shaken off all that rust, at least against the BC Lions. What do you think here?
Both teams have a losing record heading into this week. Hamilton 2-8, Winnipeg 4-6. But the big difference being, like you just said, Winnipeg almost pitched 2 shutouts in a row against the BC Lions. I'm going out on a limb. I know the open was 9.5. I'll take the Bombers minus 10 points.
Feels like the Bombers are going to win this one by like 15 or 20. If you're going to give me 10, I have to roll the dice and take a chance. Like Hamilton's not going to win outright, but 10 points is a lot. Give me 10 with the tabbies. That's my pick this week.
That's an instant win for me then. All right.
So for game 3, the BC Lions are heading to Ottawa. Ottawa at home this season has been super strong. If the BC Lions offense can get on the field and the defense isn't out there for 30 or 40 minutes, they should win easily on this one, especially if Rourke is coming back and he's got some extra reps under his belt. I'm sure with what you're wearing and your house adorned in BC Lions garb, you're probably going to agree with me here, right, Jess?
I mean, Ottawa is an impressive 6-2, and BC's on a horrible 4-game losing streak. I got to think that Rourke is going to have better timing with his receivers. Like I said, they only had 3 practices last week. Today being Tuesday, you'll be out there all day today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, travel to Ottawa on the Friday. I would imagine that they're probably going to spend even a little bit of extra time just running regular passing routes and just getting the timing down, getting the nose receivers a little bit better. I'm really hopeful that the offense will look a lot better in Ottawa on Saturday.
And you're going BC?
Yes, I am.
The Owls, who might be the first team to go 10 wins for the season, the double digits. I mean, it seems pretty obvious they're going to go for 10 wins. If Trey Ford is slinging for the Elks and you're going to give them 6.5 on this spread, man, I hope Ford is playing because I'm going to go Elks on this game on the off chance that he is and take those 6.5. I just need the Elks to lose by a little bit.
If they just lose by under a touchdown, you're in. Kind of bad luck for the Edmontons. They are to be coming on a real hot 3-game win streak. Edmonton is hungry though, but I just think they will keep it close. But at the end of the day, Montreal is going to be, I think, too strong for the Elks. And I do think it'll be close, but it won't be that close at the end. I mean, I think it might be, respectable at halftime, but I think the Owls pull away by the end of the fourth quarter and probably win by closer to 10 or 14.
So that means we're on the opposite side of 3 of these games. The only game we're agreeing on is the BC game.
Yeah.
It could be 3-1 for one of us and 1-3 for the other.
Man, you might be running away with this one. Hopefully not, but it could be a turning point week, that's for sure.
I think with my picks, the 3 that I'm going for, I'm really hoping that the odds makers are close again this week like they have been in previous weeks. And it's just like that sneaky half point that goes either in, my favor. Or yours.
Of all the 3 ones that we disagreed on, I think the Edmonton-Montreal game is going to be the closest, I think.
Game 1's the big uncertainty for me. Kelly, like everyone's been waiting for him to come back.
I just think he hasn't practiced at all. And like you see, Rourke Kelly hasn't. I mean, who the hell knows how good of shape he's probably going to be in.
That's week 11 in the wraps. Week 12 is on its way. If you want to write the show, you can. It's placed on the 55pod@gmail.com. Let's see what Kelly can do. And more importantly, let's see what Rourke can do this week. Talk to you later.
You got it, John.